What's good, everyone? It's Steve from SnkrTechTalk, back with another video today. For today's video, I just really quickly want to talk about next year's release of the Air Max 95 in the neon colorway. So without further ado, let's take a look at these and talk about the ones that will be coming out next year. Alright, so really quickly an overview of this release from 2020. I did pick up 2 pairs of these back in 2020, and I think I helped around 15 people on Nike Talk. These were really easy to get here in Canada, but for whatever reason in the States, obviously there's more people, I just think they were really tough to grab. So I went to a mall one night, I believe it was the night after the release, and I think I picked up 10 or 15 pairs between 2 malls and shipped them out. Was happy to help a bunch of Nike talkers. But without further ado, with this release, this is the box you're getting, kind of an OG twist on the original box from back in the day. This pair did release in 2020. I believe it was December, late December. It actually says the 17th right there, and the retail price for these were $225 Canadian. I did get these in a US size 11. Now with this pair here, the overall execution and materials were not anything special, but they weren't bad. As you can see right here, you have all those gray paneling running throughout with the white mesh, the neon green eyelets, the 3M hit on the top of the tongue, that iconic Air Max 95 logo at the top of the tongue, and then more of the same on the medial side. You've got those airbags at the back, and then this was the first Air Max shoe to have exposed air in the forefoot, as you can see right here. These were designed by Sergio Lozano back in 95, and the big thing about the shoe was they had a black midsole, and Nike didn't like that at the beginning, but his reasoning for it was in Portland, it's really rainy, it's running in the rain, and he said, why make a white midsole? Why not keep it black to hide a lot of that dirt? And that's exactly what he did over 25 years ago, and it's become a staple on this release and a lot of Air Maxes in the future that have come out after this shoe. So very cool, forward thinking from him. You also have that neon kind of green swoosh, the 3M paneling at the back. The outsole is awesome with this waffle inspired forefoot, and then you do have that plastic shank play right here with 20, 25, and 5 psi running throughout. So a decent release back in 2020. Now coming out in 2025, I believe it's summertime, they're going to release the Big Bubble Air Max 95. Now I believe it was 2 summers ago now, I was on Nike campus, I was at Department of Nike Archives. I asked the question 2 years ago, hey, the 30-year anniversary is right around the corner. Are you guys going to do anything special for the Air Max 95? Something like a big bubble maybe? I got some pretty big smiles from the people in the room, a couple winks. They said, we can't wait for you to see what we have cooking. And yesterday on the Nike Sneakers app, they kind of forecasted what's coming out in 2025. And lo and behold, there they were in hand and in photos, which I will pop up on the screen right now. Now, I'm super stoked to finally be getting an Air Max 95 again with the bigger bubbles. As you can see on this pair right here, these are a lot more muted than what was back in 95 and what's coming out next year. Especially this bubble at the back, it's almost hidden within that midsole. You can barely see it. And what we will be getting in 2025 is something a lot more substantial. I doubt they're going to do much with the forefoot bags, honestly, and I'm not too mad at that. I just want the bigger bags at the back, and we're finally getting that. And in the photos, it looks like there's a little bit more padding at the back of the shoe as well. So I think it's going to be kind of the closest we've ever gotten to the OGs next year for the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 95 in this neon colorway. But sound off in the comments, are you guys stoked for next year's release? I think it's going to be coming at a pretty costly price. You know, with collabs with Air Max 95s, it's usually 200 USD. I think they're going to up the price probably $5 or $10 from your standard price point for this new big bubble, because honestly, they're going to want to pay for those new molds for the midsole and just the bubbles in general. Another thing I did kind of notice is it looks like the bubble finally has that seam within the bubble being back on the sides and the back. So time will tell if that makes it to the marketplace, because I'm sure that pair they had on sneakers was just a sample, but I'm still good with my 2020 pair. I do have a second pair that I still wear frequently. I actually wore it today to pick up this pair right here, the Air Max 95 in the Stash Club. A gorgeous shoe with awesome materials, that stash pocket on the tongue with the little zipper right there, and just great execution from the man himself. But I'm very much stoked for next year's release of the 2025 Air Max 95 in the neon green colorway. Sound off in the comments. Are you guys excited for next year's release? Are you going to be upset if they raise the price point? Obviously, no one's going to be happy, but the biggest thing for me for next year is make them available. Why celebrate a shoe's 30th anniversary if they're not widely available? Like all over online, all the boutiques, Nike sneakers, the regular Nike website, make them widely available. Make 1 million pairs of these next year. I think they did a really good job with the Air Max 90 infrareds back in 2020 for their 30th anniversary. Air Max 1s, especially with the big bubble, I think they've done a very good job with those, making them widely available. But since the last time, I think a lot of people missed out on this 2020 release. Please, Nike, make the 2025 release widely available so people can just walk into their mall, grab a pair with no headache. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm sure it's going to be a little easier here in Canada, but I will definitely be looking for that double up next summer of the Air Max 95 in the OG neons. That's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that definitely helps the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at SnkrTechTalk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.